Rafał Trzaskowski from the governing center-right party Civic Platform meets supporters in central Poland. He is pro-Europe, pro-climate action, and popular especially among urban voters. Critics, however, see Trzaskowski as part of Poland's privileged elite and far too much in line with faraway Brussels. Unlike his opponent, Karol Nawrocki, who likes to trash the EU and its policies. He presents himself as a candidate who is eager to uphold traditional Catholic values and goes full hardline on migration.
Cześć, witam, dzień dobry, what's up? This is Mike. Today I'm going to talk about the Polish presidential elections taking place today, right now as we speak. Polish people are right now hitting the polling stations, and today we're going to talk about the differences, the strengths and weaknesses between each one of the presidential candidates. On the left, we have Rafał Trzaskowski, which I'm sure I'm butchering his name, and on the right-hand side, the Peace Party, Law and Justice Party, we have Karol Nawrocki. We're going to break down a few of their pros and cons. For me, what I believe to be the better presidential candidate, although I know I'm not supposed to say anything because this is a day of peace in Poland. We cannot say anything. We are bound by law to not promote any type of candidate whatsoever. So we're going to dive into their strengths and weaknesses, and I'm going to give you my analysis at the end to see what you think about it. So let's get into it. Poland's presidential election is heating up, and it's not just politics as usual. This race pits two very different men with two very different visions for the country. Today, we're breaking down what's at stake between Rafał Trzaskowski and Karol Nawrocki. First up, we're going to take a look at Rafał Trzaskowski. You probably know him as the mayor of Warsaw, the face of the Civic Coalition, and one of the loudest pro-European voices in Poland. Trzaskowski wants Poland to stay really tight with the European Union. He backs progressive social policies like the LGBTQ plus rights, abortion reform.
I ją będę reprezentował. Drodzy Państwo, mam też dla pana Rafała Trzaskowskiego, bo ostatnio ucieka od tej symboliki.
He wants to move Poland off coal and get them into a direction more with green energy. But not everybody's really happy with that. His stance on the EU's Green New Deal and farmer competition with Ukraine has made him a target for farmers and in rural areas. On the other side, we've got Karol Nawrocki, a conservative historian backed by the Nationalist Party, Peace. He's huge on family values, tight with the Catholic Church, and not shy about putting Poland first, even if that means clashing with Brussels. Nawrocki is against the liberalization of abortion laws. He wants to hold on to coal and invest into nuclear power. He's firmly against switching to the euro, calling it a threat to Poland's economic independence. On NATO and Ukraine, both men agree. Poland stays in NATO, keeps defense spending high, and stands against Russia. On the other hand, Nawrocki says Ukraine shouldn't join NATO until old historical grievances have been rectified and addressed. Now, about the debate everybody's talking about. Karol Nawrocki caught a lot of flack for allegedly using sinus medications, or snus, which is a tobacco derivative, during the debate, with people joking it was either his nerves or a sneaky way of avoiding answering some really tough questions. He laughed it off, but it since then has lit up Polish social media. So I'm asking you today, Polish people, when you go to those polling stations to cast your vote, what actually are you voting for? I've tried time and time again to ask my clients, what are they looking for in either of the candidates? Collectively, I've heard that they're not a big fan of the Peace Party. They're not a huge fan of this current administration, or not administration, but this coalition. It's gotten to the point where people were even shopping around for other, maybe far more radical, or not even radical, I hate to use that word, more conservative parties or candidates. So we're looking at people like Grzegorz Braun and Sławomir Mencen. We're talking about the Konfederacja Party. Konfederacja Party has brought in a little bit higher percentage of people than they were anticipating. And now Poland is at this kind of at the precipice, deciding what his fate will be. If it's going to go left, pro-European Union, or kind of remain nationalist, more conservative, centrist, in my opinion. I don't see it as really far right leaning. I've heard people go so far as to say they're only voting for Rafał Trzaskowski because he can speak really good English. That means the bar is really low here in Poland. And maybe that's something what Polish people are voting for. Somebody that looks a little bit more presidential on the international stage versus somebody popping tobacco packages live during a debate. That would be my question for Polish people. How do you see this election? What direction do you want your country to go into? Are you looking for a cleaner society, a cleaner ecology? Are you looking for more programs that might stimulate and incentivize home ownership for younger people? What are the policies you are actually looking for from your president? I know it's very difficult with the parliamentary system. I know the president does not really necessarily have a lot of power here. He's more of a figurehead. Maybe you're just looking for somebody that represents you, your values on the international stage. You don't want to be embarrassed by a president that doesn't speak English and makes a lot of political quips when they meet other foreign leaders. Or do you want just traditional values? Do you want somebody that's skeptical of this one-size-fits-all European Union strategy? Are you a big fan of Brussels and what they have? Do you even pay attention to what's really happening throughout the EU? That would be my concern if I'm talking to you, the Polish voter today. Look at what's happening throughout the European Union and think about if what you see is actually good for you and your family. Because from what I see, I am not a big fan of Brussels. I'm not a huge fan of this one-size-fits-all policy. And I think moving forward, depending on what direction you want to go into, you might have not necessarily a France, because I still believe in you, Polish people. You might not necessarily have a Germany, but you don't know what's around the corner. And we don't know what type of policies the European Union will put in place, if they will start to put Poland in a situation where to maintain European Union membership, maybe you have to think about long term, not necessarily for a 2-year, 5-year, 6-year, 10-year strategy. Maybe think 20 years, 30 years when you think about your children, your future, your children's future. That's what I would say to Polish people out there voting today. Think about the future, not what you have in front of you today. Anyway, this is Mike. Tell me what you think about my commentary. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know if my ears are fine-tuned to speak Polish, how I see Polish politics here. Until then, may the best candidate win. Cześć.